compound was not meant to be permanent. There are concerns the Qunari influence is no longer contained.
Was it ever? Kirkwall has tension enough between Templar and Mage. But these Qunari, they sit like gargoyles waiting for maker knows what, and everyone goes mad around them. Nearly 4 years I've stood between fanatics. And now, this.
Don't keep us in suspense.
Leave us. Meredith at my throat, Orsino at my heels, and a city scared of heretical giants. Balance has held because the Qunari ask for nothing. Even the space in Lowtown was a gift to contain them. But now, the Arishok has requested you. By name. What did you do?
I can't help it if I make an impression.
Apparently not. I remember how you helped my son. It seems you are meant to have influence above your station. Speak to the Arishok. Give him what he needs to keep the peace. Can you do that for Kirkwall, Sirrah Hawk?
I've seen hate for them, but I haven't heard anything major in years.
Zealots are bravest where their lies can't be argued, behind closed doors. Chantry leaders see Qunari beliefs as a challenge, not an attack. But the message gets muddled among casual adherents. I'm certainly not equipped to argue the fine points of faith.
Have the years been kind to Seamus?
He is his own man. But your actions tempered him somewhat. He's not so angry at the world. I thank you for that. I may not agree with him on many things, but I am proud of what he is becoming.
The Qunari usually arrive as conquerors. Odd that this has gone on so long.
Very, and I have no interest in antagonizing them. That is partially why I suffer being a messenger today. A treaty exists, and it has been honored. Although...
You have doubts?
They claim they're waiting for a second ship. But it has been 3 years. They want something else.
Sounds like you'd be better off without this headache.
They will not leave, and we don't have the resources to force the issue. At least, not in a way that would leave the city intact. If they had come to conquer, I suspect they would have done so.
Any idea what I can expect?
None. Honestly, I don't think I've heard 2 direct words from the Arishok. Other than his rather deliberate phrasing of begone. If you think his asking me to notify you of this is strange, well, you would be right.
I'm always willing to assist.
Well, that is an attitude this city has lacked for a long time. Appease the Arishok. Take his demand and let him return to dormancy. As awkward as this has been, it is better than the alternative. It's heading for a fall. I know it is.
You're looking well, Sirrah.
Well, you have certainly risen through the rank. Good for you.
Oh, there you are. I've been looking everywhere for you, Messiah. If only you humans didn't all look the same.
We can't all be short and bearded like your people, Bowden.
Indeed. It's quite a shame, really. I came to deliver this to you. The last of the proceeds from all that treasure you found in the deep roads. It seems your friend Varric found a buyer after all, yes? Quite well done.
So you raced here just to give me this?
I didn't want to be responsible for so much coin. Just holding that purse was making me sweat. Before I go, may I simply say how grateful I am that you've allowed my boy to stay in your home. I said I would repay you for saving Sandal's life, and I shall serve you faithfully. It is good to know he is safe.
Let me guess. This was Mother's idea?
As you say, yes. I'll leave you to your adventures. Your mother asks that you return to the mansion when you have a chance.
You've settled in nicely.
It's just luck. And skill.
Indeed. Still, more coin never hurts, right? Say, if someone wanted to pass some work your way...
So how can I be of service this time?
Someone's trying to be a guard, poorly. Remember Emmerich, the Templar? He wants your help, and some sort of official sanction.
Official sanction?
For his investigation. He's convinced that every random murder in the past few years is connected, and he won't be quiet.
You don't think it's worth investigating?
I have. He even convinced one of my lieutenants to raid the Dupuis mansion. Nothing there. You wouldn't believe how much ass I had to kiss after that. Bloody hobbyist constable. Why can't he spend his declining years building a boat or something?
Seems like it should be easy to prove if there are bodies.
Kirkwall isn't the safest place. That doesn't mean everything terrible is related. There's no sense to that. Can't be.
Muzzle the geezer. Got it.
I would never say that. But if it leads somewhere genuine, I'll pick it up on your word. If he shuts up, that's good too. He's in the gallows. Thanks, Hawk. I appreciate it.
Isabella. Who carves that into a stairwell?
It's strange living here again. My childhood home. Now owned by my child. It's not something I could have imagined when I was a little girl staring out this window. I'm still grateful you used your money from the expedition to buy back the estate. I feel like an Amel again.
I'm going to make the name Hawke one to be proud of in this city.
I don't doubt it. Your father would have said that, with that exact look too. I just wish we could all be together as a family one more time. I visited Bethany at the Circle, and she seems happy enough. I guess I just need to start picking you out a suitable husband.
I like the doggy. Ruff, ruff, ruff. Ruff, 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 ruff.
Looks like they're having a nice chat. Maybe Sandal picked up some Mabari speak from our time at the hero of Ferelden's camp.
Wish Bodan would clean the fireplace. Says it reminds him of a mine shaft. Didn't Fenris say all Tevinter wine is made from the blood and tears of slaves? I hope he was exaggerating. Sorry, I was expecting treasure, not spiders. Get well soon, love Isabella. Why do I let her drag me into these things? Ah, this statue. Wait, where did I get this statue? Another copy of Anders' manifesto. Has he been stuffing them into all the books? That's Mother's room. I shouldn't intrude. Handprints? Was someone swinging on the chandelier? Sandal. I wonder where Varric is today. Telling stories about my exploits to anyone who will listen, most likely. Didn't I see this crest hanging somewhere in the Viscount's keep? Lots of old things from Lothering in there. Had breakfast, visited Privy, took Mother to Haberdasher. Must have been a slow day. Poor Prince. I told him to stay off the bed.
It's on the desk.
That dog. Well, maybe chew marks add character to the piece.
Have you heard from your sister? Is she settling in all right with the Circle?
I thought you and Bethany didn't get along. Why are you worrying over her?
I'd be terrified in her shoes. Surrounded by strangers. Watched all the time. We didn't always agree, but she's a sweet girl. I would never wish that fate on anyone.
She always did love being constantly watched by large, armed men.
She did? I would never have imagined. Oh. She's strong. If anyone can get through this, she can. Don't blame yourself.
Someone's got to blame me. Other than my mother, I mean.
I'm sure your mother doesn't blame you. Things will be all right. Somehow.
Just tell me if you hear more rumblings from the coterie about protection. Blondie's got enough trouble. Let me ask you something, Hawke. You made it into Hightown. I'd expect anyone else to get complacent, but you must have plans.
No plans yet. I'm simply trying to look out for my mother.
After everything that happened with Bethany, that's probably good thinking. To be honest, I thought there might be a chance you'd want to go back to Ferelden now that things have calmed down. It's good to hear you're sticking around.
What would I do without my trusty dwarf? I'd cry myself to sleep without you.
Oh, don't get all teary-eyed on me, Hawk. You know I can't stand to see a human cry. So, we've got a whole city-state full of trouble to get into. Shall we get started?
So the Seneschal's tax collector won't be coming around again like you asked. Funny story.
I'll pass, but thank you for the help.
Spoil sport.
Why you want to squat up here in Hightown is beyond me.
I like the view.
So do I.
Three years. There's still no sign of Denarius. I'm beginning to wonder if he's finally given up.
This is his mansion, isn't it? He must know you're here.
Would you be surprised to learn that it isn't, in fact, his mansion? It belongs to a Tevinter merchant, one who has evidently given up on the place. Perhaps he is dead. Perhaps Denarius killed him. Either way, if Denarius is aware of my presence, he has done nothing.
Don't tell me you're going to miss all the attention.
Tell me, what do you do when you stop running?
You take a breath and look around. And start anew.
I don't know how. My first memory is receiving these markings, the lyrium being branded into my flesh. The agony wiped away everything. Whatever life I had before I became a slave, it's lost. I shouldn't trouble you with this. My problems are not yours.
You don't know who you were?
Fenris was the name Denarius bestowed upon me, his little wolf. If I once had another name or a family, then they were taken from me. But again, this is not your concern.
I might be able to help with your problems. Or give you a few more.
More problems than you normally do, I assume. You're a beautiful woman, Hawk. Is there no one else who has your attention?
I didn't quite catch that first part.
I don't need to repeat the obvious, I'm certain. I'm an escaped slave and an elf living in a borrowed mansion. None of those things bother you.
And I'm a refugee as well as a human. Does that bother you?
You have me there. You raise an interesting point. I'll have to consider it.
You got my letter.
You've been gone a while. I thought you had things under control.
I told you I would handle this, and I did. Now, after a year of raids on our shipments, I finally caught one of the culprits. One of our miners, Sabine, has been leaking information. Do you know him? He claims to be from your hometown in Ferelden. I would like you to get this festering sore to divulge who is behind the thefts. When you are ready, I will bring Sabine to you.
Who is this man?
I would not expect you to recall every pisspot from your past.
That's the problem with being a big fish in a small pond. I could never tell the little fish apart.
Well, he brags to his fellows that he grew up with you in Lothering.
I've other things to deal with first.
Return to me soon. This is a matter of great urgency. Here is the dung pile I caught leaking next week's shipment schedule. He won't tell me who he's working with. Who else has been screwing me over? Tell me, you ratting mongrel!
He can't talk with a mouthful of broken teeth.
Please, Miss Sayre, help me. I knew you since you was young and Lothering. I knew your mum's family, and your pop. Make you got him rest.
Pathetic. I leave this bastard in your capable hands. Get me when he's ready to talk.
Thank you, Miss Sayre. Us Lothering folks should stick together.
What made you betray your employer?
Before the Blight, my family had a good life in Lothering. Clean home, fertile land, friends. In Kirkwall, we lived in a hovel. People spit on us, and some days we went hungry.
Trust me, things could be worse. Tell me how to stop the next ambush.
As soon as I tell Hubert what he wants to know, he'll kill me or throw me in prison. My life's not worth much but my family. I only wanted to give my wife and son a better life.
I'll deal with you, Bear. Just give us something to go on.
Oh, thank you, Miss Eyre. I'll talk.
Hawk, this is Lily of the Coterie. Given the importance of stopping the cargo robberies, I have enlisted a consultant.
Consultant? Sure. Whatever helps you sleep at night.
Well, Doug, are you ready to bark now?
There's an ambush planned tonight at Dietrich Crossing.
Tonight? That leaves you barely enough time to intercept them. You had best leave immediately.
We'll protect your precious shipment, but make sure you have the coterie's payment. Want me to deal with this runt? Free of charge. I'll drop him in a ditch on our way out.
Yes, take him, with my blessing. I assume my partner will not object?
Sabine's been a helpful chap. Plus, he says our villains threatened to kill his wife and son. They even killed his dog to prove a point. His dog, Hubert. You know how important they are to Fereldans.
There's 1,000 such sub-stories in Lowtown.
This does not make it right what he did. But it takes the sting off. After all I've done for these poor refugees.
All you've done?
Sabine is grateful for all your generosity, and his heart grieves that he must leave. Now.
Oh, thank you, Miss Hayes. I know I don't deserve it, but thank you.
We're wasting time. If you find naught but corpses at the ambush, it won't be my fault. That was almost too easy. Wait. I recognize that lout.
Who is he?
He's in the coterie. One of that damned fool Brecker's men.
So your organization is behind this?
We got explicit orders not to. Hubert's been good on his payments. If Brecker ordered this, the rest of his life will be very short and painful.
Tell me about this man.
He operates out of the south side. Always had more balls than sense. His lackeys are loyal. Brecker must be involved.
Let's pay Brecker a social call. We've got a lot to talk about.
I've got to be sure first. I know who to lean on to get answers. Find me in the Undercity.
Don't let them get away!
You coterie, one of Lily's friends.
Lily was one of ours. She was working for you, and now she's dead. You get one chance. Did you kill her?
Lily didn't die by my hand. Someone else did this.
Explain yourself.
This is a case of the right hand not knowing what the left is doing. One of the scum that attacked my caravans worked for someone in the coterie named Brecker. Lily said she'd look into it. I think Brecker had her killed.
Brecker, If you're lying, I'll find you. Men, we have to get to the bottom of this. Now.
You must be Brecker.
And you're that lice-covered refugee.
You'd better leave the bone pit shipments alone. Understand?
You're making demands of me. You own half a stake in a mine and you think you're somebody, huh? Some Fereldans don't have the courtesy of knowing when to bloody die.
You should have lived in Tevinter. You'd be happier there.
You're probably right.
There, your magic would be a mark of honor. Apprentice to the right magister, you would do well.
Is there a downside?
Only if you're bothered by owning a few slaves and performing the occasional blood ritual.
So they all do those things?
Just the ones who don't complain about how powerless and persecuted they are.
I found the thieves responsible for the cargo thefts. I put them out of business.
Excellent. With that resolved, the mine's profits will soar. For now, partner, please be sure to visit our workers occasionally. You have a knack for keeping them happy.